up, guys? Here again today. Hope you're feeling great. Okay, what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about the ability to see things differently than they are. Similar to what it says right here. When you have the ability and the idea to see things in a different way than what they are, when you're a little bit delusional, if you will, in that you see something before it comes to fruition, you're a different kind of individual. You have a different kind of spirit, or at least you're letting that spirit out in a way that it should come out. Right? You're not holding it back and preventing it from coming out from things you learn, right? From being realistic, from having ideas and shutting them down. You see a lot of times in this society, or at least probably since the beginning of time, we've all had ideas, and they might be the best ideas known to man. But if an idea does not have life breathed into it, it'll never come out. It'll never come to fruition in your own sense. Now, there is one all collective conscious, and there's many ideas within this realm, but we all have our own unique perspective, and we can all put our own unique expression out to the world. And we should, and we need to, and we must. And we do in the ways we do either way. But the point is connecting to your higher spirit, connecting to your higher self, whilst expressing that. Whilst not having the societal conditioning that holds you back from expressing yourself. You must have these things if you want to actually live more of a life of your choosing. But you see what happens so much nowadays is we fall into the trap of believing social proof. Now, again, social proof, it's a natural part of influence. We believe we must do what the tribe's doing so we don't die. So we have friends, so we have people that we can, create a civilization with. That's where it comes from, but nowadays it's not real. I mean, that's not even part of, you know what I mean? Like, we can survive in our own little ways. Like, we don't have to have a community of people that help one another, because we have all this technology, we have these different things that simplify and make life much more pleasurable and easy. But that isn't always good. Most of the time it's not. Right? We get so caught up in the tribe mentality and social proof that we forget to realize, and we lose sight of the fact that anybody since the beginning of time that has done something different, that has went against the grain, found adversity. Everybody talked down to them up until the moment of when they were actually succeeding. Then they wanted to be on their side. All right? This always happens. I mean, I've quoted it before. Albert Einstein said, extraordinary minds have always found resistance from mediocre minds, or something like that. Look it up. It's really reality. But nowadays, we all feel these certain types of ways whenever our family, our loved ones, or different people in our life put down our goals and our ambitions. Naturally so, right? Because we care about their opinion. At least when we get started, we care about their opinion. But this is the journey. You see, this is the process of becoming you, becoming a part of who you're meant to be. It's saying, hey, you know what? I see things different than what they are right now. I see things in a different way, a different light. And I need to shine. I see things in a different perspective, and I need to shine light on that perspective for more. Because I can't be the only one who feels this way. I can't be the only one who is feeling this pain in this situation that's driving me to want to change it. Therefore, if I'm not the only one feeling this pain, there must be people who are feeling more pain within this situation. So you know what? I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't give a fuck what anybody else has to say about me and my process and seeing things different than what they are. In fact, I'm going to do it because they said I couldn't. I'm going to do it because they chose not to face the pain. I'm going to do it with love deep down, no matter what they say. Because here's reality. Many of us, the bed's always more comfortable when you're under the blanket. But you're also not stepping out into the outside world. You're not feeling the greatness of different moments. You're feeling the comfort. You're feeling the devil in a way, the lower self holding you down, holding you tight and comfortable and keeping you within that realm of safety. But no growth has ever come from safety. Nothing great has really ever even come from safety. It's always come from someone being willing to explore and to take risk, because taking risk is so naturally human. Like, look at this. I mean, this is a frog. It's not a human. But look at this frog right here. A gust of wind could come across and knock him off. And of course, he's got biological adaptations to keep that from happening most of the part. But either way, I mean, you know what I mean? He's risking it for the biscuit, man. He's going out there and doing what he's got to do. He ain't sleeping in. He ain't under the covers. He's got a mission. He might not have slept last night. I mean, it's a frog, so I don't know what their biological systems are, but whatever. You get my point. Especially as humans, like, we're meant to be more. We're meant to express ourselves in this world. We're meant to get out there and do what we need to do and be ourselves. But so much so nowadays in our society, we're taught to be as little as possible, especially as men. And just in general too, like, we're taught to be as weak as possible in certain ways. We're taught to, like, express ourselves in a way that isn't actually helpful. Don't get me wrong, mental health, 100% important. You got to take care of yourself. You must take care of yourself. But true self-care is partially being tough. Like, being tough is self-care. If you complain and drain all of your energy by expressing yourself, expressing your emotions, that's not self-care. That's just putting your issues on everybody else. Right? So it's like you got to express the negative feelings, but with the plan and the purpose of seeking a version of it. Like, you may have to talk through issues with your loved ones, with people, with someone, or even just on a piece of paper. That's one of the best ways to do it. But you need to be, when you do that, it needs to be on the backside of, okay, I know I can get here, so I must do this. I know I can be in a better state mentally. I know I can alleviate myself of this depression, this anxiety, this ADHD. And it starts with me expressing what I haven't yet expressed. Rather than nowadays when it's like, bask in it. Go talk to your doctors and get some medications for it. These issues arise from something internal. Just like I've talked about before, unexpressed potential manifests itself in many different ways. You see, you are simply not expressing in all the ways that you need to. Your energy is trapped in some sort of way, or it's not expressing in the most fulfilling way. So your mind is going to find the way somehow. And a lot of times, most of the time, if not all the time, it's some way negative, right? Because it's a negative incantation. It is yourself reproducing what you are lacking, or what you're expressing is lacking. Like, for instance, you know, when I was getting started rolling upon my path, it was like, I want to be this. I want to make all this money. It was a lot of wants that didn't have depth just yet. Because that's a part of the process, finding your depth, right? Like I've talked about before. But it was, I want this money. I want these sources of income. And I was failing to find them. I was trying really hard to find these sources of income. But what happened was, because I was trying, but I wasn't trying as absolutely hard as I could. And I was remaining in situations that kept me from finding them too. So because of that, what happened? Well, I manifested myself into a bar. I manifested myself into with a drink in my hand. Right? Expressing, that energy was expressing somehow. I was drowning my mind. I was numbing myself, numbing my pain internally, subconsciously, with alcohol, with weed, with whatever it was. Instead of doing absolutely everything I could to find whatever else, fix my situation that was causing the pain, right? And that's just one situation. We do this all the time. And again, this is completely subconscious. And here I was at this time. I was working my work. I was doing my normal job, and I was doing things on the outside of work, along with my baby being born, me being focused on my relationship. So here I am thinking that I'm focused on all the right things, but in reflection nowadays, I see, hey, you know what? That job, I could have just left that job then and found something different. Right? If I really wanted to be completely focused on it. And if I did that, well, I wouldn't have been in the bar, and I wouldn't have been drinking, and I wouldn't have caused those issues. Right? But, it's not regret, because we have to grow through what we go through. right? Without that, I would be different. I would have been on a different trajectory. So it's all gratitude. But my point is that if you're not careful, if you follow along with many others' expectations and societal norms, you end up falling into what happens where you're just going with the motions and you don't see a better vision. You don't see a better perspective in any way. You're kind of just there and you feel powerless. You feel without control. You don't realize that you are the one that's controlling your destiny. You think it's up to everybody else. You think it's up to your boss, your wife, your job, whatever it is. So make the decision, man. Take a greater piece of ownership. Be as mature as you possibly can and take ownership for your life, for your destiny. And be someone who can see things as not as they are, but as they could be. And work for them. Be them. Assume it. Assume it already done. You got this, man. You can do it. It's one step at a time, one day at a time, one penny at a time, brother. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you got below. Like it, share it with somebody, subscribe. We're on a mission here. We're going to wake more people up. I hope you guys are liking this. We're going to keep going. I love you guys. Let's get it. Have a great day.